Cynthia. Thank you very much. We've been planning for a long time,
Yes.
and I wanted you to be here in studio and just to hear from you how it all started, what's your inspiration, your passion about jewelry, and where you're right now. So I saw your Instagram, I saw your stories online, and your jewelry is first of all beautiful.
Thank you.
And it's not easy to create something that's so beautiful. So I appreciate you coming. So let's start. How you got into this jewelry making? What inspired you, and where are you right now?
I feel that it comes like from a long time ago, like since childhood. I always love making things. And, I feel like jewelry was my passion, such as a young age, as everything when it comes to making. I think like making clothing or making, anyways, like photo shoots. So I was always a very creative person. And the jewelry came in. I don't know. I really like the works of Elsa Peretti, which is like an Italian designer.
Okay.
And I remember looking at those pictures, maybe with 7, 8 years old, and I love her work. And I was like, oh, I want to do that when I'm a bit bigger, right?
Yeah.
And I think it started right there when, I had that big computer in the 90s,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And I used to really go into the Tiffany website. I think she had her pieces there. And I would go and I would be like, wow, this is a bit amazing. Like she used to design like the bone cuff,
Okay.
some other pieces. And I remember going through the internet at that time and looking at those pieces. And like, I want to do something like that, right? I just had that idea since I was a kid.
And this is in Brazil.
This is back in Brazil, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So now after your inspiration from this particular one designer that
Yes.
triggered your interest into designing jewelry, but of course it took some time for it to materialize. Huh? So you spent your childhood in Brazil, and then you came to Canada, and you launched your brand after I think working in. How did that happen?
It's so much into it, but I did have a jewelry line back in Brazil. It was fine jewelry, but I was just starting. But I had this brand just for like 2 years, and I decided to move abroad, which I moved to Toronto, right? But I think I told you before, I didn't speak English. So I arrived here and I was like, okay, so first of all, I need to learn the language
Okay.
before I jump into being like a jewelry designer or anything, right? I didn't know how to order a coffee. So
That'd be helpful to learn the language.
let's be realistic. So then, I was in school for a bit, and, it took me like maybe a year to fully grasp and talking like the language. I was very shy. And then, the jewelry line, I just started like in 2016, but I came to Canada in 2007. So
Okay.
I work in luxury retail for a long time, and I work in many places before I actually be like, if I don't launch my brand here, I don't think I'm going to be a fully like happy and realized person.
Satisfied. So
Yeah.
So between the time that you were a kid in Brazil and you say you launched something for a couple of years, and the time that you launched your brand in Canada, is there a creative connection, or because does that help you when that you started as a child in Brazil and then you launched as your full brand in Canada? Does that process in Brazil help you with launching in Canada?
I think so, because I always had my ideas. That is designs that I even like from that time of being like even a teenager, like I don't know, 17, 15. I had ideas from that time that I only put it in action when I actually had a jewelry line. Because I also like you have these things in your mind, right? Like I always have some ideas, but I don't make them. But I keep them. And then, one idea that I had from that time was our sculpt collection,
Okay.
which are these stone rings that they have a diamond on. So I had that idea probably when I was like I said, 15, 16, because I was in Brazil in a big market. And then I walked through this stone market and I saw a big table full of stone rings being sold at the market. And I look at that and I see that they were like all flat. And I was like, oh, maybe if like something with I had a diamond on, it will look great. But that was like such a long time ago. So then, I think 2022, we launched Sculpt collection, which was like a stone ring, the shape of a heart with a diamond on.
Okay.
So these creative ideas always like come and go, and they don't have like really like a timeline to materialize, right? But they're in your head.
Okay. So so if it's something is in your head, so do you write it down or so that you don't forget it and then one day you have to materialize it? Or is still you go with your instinct and it sits there and one day you just find something that so interesting that that idea and that material connects and you just work on it.
So
I think I'm talking about the process,
the process.
the process of your creativity.
So I feel like it's very important if you have an idea, you go and you write it down or even sketch it, right? Have like a design book, like any book close to you, because you always have those ideas.
Exactly. Yes.
It clicks, and usually those ideas that you have, you need to save them, right? And but some of them I don't save it. It just keeps in the back of my mind, or as I am like buying like raw materials, I see something that is very pretty, and I have that quickly like, oh my god, I think I catch an idea, and then I was like, this is gonna look good with this, and then you come up with something. So I have those two processes, which it is writing it down, idea that is always good, but also exploring your materials, right? And going through like to explore like the stones and diamonds and metals. I feel like in the process, you catch an idea and you're like, oh, I want to make this. I want to put this together and see how it's going to look. So I feel like this year I had many of these moments that I was like buying stones and something click and I just like, it's very like intuitive. And I had that feeling. I was like, yeah, I need to make this. I need to make this. And then my assistant was like, but you're going to make this other design. I was like, no. I feel we should focus on that because it's something that came from my mind and is very strong. So I feel there is a big chance that this is going to be a good design.
Good design, okay.
Yeah.
You have so many different varied experiences, and then you come to Toronto. It's a very different environment. How does that affect? Does that help in your creative process?
Yes, I feel like it does help, and it also like broadens your inspiration and what you bring with your work, right? I feel like my culture, it's very like there is a lot of like happiness. We are very easygoing people. Like we are not like all about like rush, right? And I feel that we bring that to to the work as well, right?
Of course, yeah.
And I feel like I do this work because I wanted my life to be fun, right? So you come to North America and, you come to Toronto, Canada. Here is all about like, oh, let's make the like millions and let's be the girl boss,
Yeah,
right? And,
girl boss.
Let's make a big company and this and go and go and go. And I feel like for me, I'm just like, I think I told you this before. I was like, I feel that I'm lucky enough that I do have this passion inside me. and I'm able to bring it out and show other people. And I think that I'm very happy and very grateful that I'm able to do that. If I'm going to like be like making a lot of money because of that, it could be yes and could be no. So I take the best of it, which is the creative power and happiness and joy, and share your ideas with other people, right?
I think that's what I was talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You know, your experience from Brazil gives you this passion that you don't care for money. You only care for what you love to make, and that expresses in your jewelry. You know, like your love for design.
Yeah, I think it's mainly a love for design. And I said that too, like it's the passion of figuring things out. I was always this type of person, right? I want to make something, but what intrigues me, it's like, how are we going to make this? Can we make it this way? Can we do it differently? And I feel design like, and my life is very similar to my creative process. Design is repetition. You repeat, you go, you make a mistake, and then you're like, oh, I make a mistake, I know how to make it better. And then you make it again, and then you make another idea, and then one design is successful, another design like it's a fail, but you learn why it failed, and then you build this body of work through the years through repetition. And I feel like, like my friends, they always make fun of me when I travel. I like to go to the same cities all the time. And it's true.
Because the second time, third time, you see it differently.
You see it differently, right? You have something that you look at and you're like, oh, okay, the first time was very at the surface. The second time, okay, I'm getting my ways around the city, right? And then the third, you meet more people. And then you build your own view in a new place, right? So I feel that like my life, it's pretty much all about design and how you see things from different angles.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. I love to go to the same spot the second or third time because you see new things at the same spot. You see it differently, and you enjoy it differently, and you enjoy it more.
Yeah.
It's not that every time you go to a new place. I know people like doing that. They go every time they go on vacation or they go on a trip. They go on they want to go at a different spot, but
Which is fine.
which is fine, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, because you want to discover more, you want to discover different things. But for me, I see every time I go and see the same spot, I see it differently. I see different details. So, which is, I think, what you're talking about. That you want to go to the same spot multiple times and pick up different cues, which is amazing. What's the connection with Brazil when you are sourcing materials?
I feel like majority of like the inspiration comes from the natural stones that I've been exposed in Brazil as a child, right? And then I learned how to appreciate that through my family. My grandfather was like a gemstones dealer. And I always used to play as a child with like.
So it runs in the family, yeah.
It kind of does, but only my grandfather was in the business of gemstones, aquamarines and emeralds mainly. But the bad stones, I used to take them and just be like, oh, it's so beautiful. But in real life, those stones, they're not valuable, right? People are more focused at the time in Brazil on selling the aquamarines, the rubies, the emeralds. And for me, I would take the not so good stones, and for me, they're pretty, right? And I love making things with stones that are not the most expensive stones, but they have beautiful colors too. Like I love making things with semi-precious stones. Like aquamarine, rose quartz. There is so many in Brazil. Amethyst, praziolite, so many I can name it. But I feel it's the color palette from the Brazilian stones that brings a lot of inspiration to my work here as well, right? And I feel the collection that we have launched this summer was very strong because I really put in that effort to, to curate stones that are my color inspiration or colors that I really like, that you see colors that I wear on my everyday. I put that out on my collection, and lots of people love it. I love it as well, and yes, I feel that is the inspiration from the Brazilian semi-precious stones.
We're talking about Brazil a lot because I think you were born and raised there. One thing that I want to touch on is the controversy around precious metals and stones. How do you make sure that the stones you're using are sourced? Um, the source is clean and what do you call it? When
The mining,
the mining
yes.
and like the earth has not been damaged, or people who are mining they've been paid their dues
fairly, yes.
fair wages, I think, something like that.
Yes, there is a few programs like in Brazil and around the world as well that you can make sure that you're working with like everything is in a correct manner. But I feel like the best way for you to know that it's going where you're making your stones and your jewelry. So I try to go to Brazil as much as possible. And, we do work with small artisans. So it's never like a big company that we're working with. So small artisans that they have their own stones and like safe like mining methods as well. And then for diamonds, that is an organization called Fairmined Diamonds that
Okay.
make sure that everything, like the way that you extract and the workers are compensated, the safety as well. So I feel like it's pretty much keeping it small because I'm a small artist and a small maker. So I try to go to the source and, work with artisans, work at location as well, and making sure that everything is done in a safe and ethical manner as well. So I think that's how we try to build that type of like awareness and making sure that everything is good.
That's amazing that while doing business you're still taking care of all those other things that matter to the awareness grew recently in the past like few years, and it's important that we're all taking care of the environment and the people who are working there. As a businesswoman, it's not easy. Like, you go to work for somebody else, you go there, you clock in, you clock out, you get paid. This is not exactly the same when you're working for yourself.
Yeah, no.
No, you wake up, your mind starts working. Or even you're going to sleep, your mind is working, and you go into sleep while you're having ideas about the next morning. What are you going to do, or how you're going to run the business, or new ideas about design. And design in one thing, just running your day-to-day business, where you're going to go, how you're going to generate enough income to pay your team.
My team.
Your
yes.
team. So is it stressful?
It's very stressful.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very stressful. But, I got into this business started because of my passion,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, oh, I'm very passionate about this, but it became a business. So I had to also learn how to manage
The business
the
part of it.
business part, because it's not always like, oh, I'm so creative, let's create this. That is a lot that goes into the creation. That is the budget.
Yeah.
That is like, oh, this is beautiful, but it's too expensive. So how can we do this that we can offer to our clients like a fair price for them to buy, because we still make everything locally, right? So yes, it's stressful, but I learned how to move with all of it, right? I still manage the business on my own. I have just like one person working with me, which is great, by the way. But you have to manage in a way that even the person that is working with you feels good of coming in and creating things and being excited. So yes, I feel challenged, but I've been doing that for 9 years already.
Yeah. So you
So
learn the
I'm
ropes.
yeah, and you can like I feel like you cannot just stop because people when they have a business or they have a challenge and that is something that is very tough, they kind of like oh my god, I feel scared. I don't know if I can jump that mountain, right? I learn with every challenge that is a good night of sleep and then you continue the next day, right? So I think that's the main takeaway that I get. Like if I have a stressful week, I know it's the next day I have to get up and I have to continue no matter what happened.
That's your resilience that you want to keep going on. And I think behind the resilience is the desire and the passion to keep creating beautiful designs. That's one thing. Is there a way that you manage your stress? Like I see, like you know, people do workouts, go on a walk in the woods, or is there a particular way that you live in Toronto? It's already a very bustling city. It's always
Yes.
busy. We're just talking that as you wake up, you hear sirens, you hear like
Yeah, it's
yeah. So
the,
it's
the
as
bit
you wake up,
hectic. Yeah.
exactly as you wake up, the city is already going. It never stops.
Yeah.
So you have to match your pace with the city. It's a fast city. So what's your is there spots that you go where you just sit and you just don't think about anything, you just empty your brain, and is there what's your way of
That
doing
is like that is never like a time that my brain is not working.
that's crazy.
But like I put this in my routine. Like before I was a very focused person because I'm doing this on my own and I feel like you cannot catch a break. Like I've been doing this for 9 years and I'm like, oh my God, if I stop the race, maybe I'm going to miss it or I'm going to lose
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But I start to incorporate things that I enjoy, like going out to see a DJ, on a Friday or on a Saturday. It doesn't need to be every weekend. I love music. So I incorporate that into my routine, being open to meet more people, not being just about the jewelry, because the jewelry became a hobby. It was like a hobby, a passion, a business, and it took over my life completely until I understood. I'm like, wow, I'm trapped into this passion because I really like this. But I also, I have to be a little bit more outgoing and, you love music. I make playlists. That's something that I appreciate doing, but watch movies, but I try to incorporate things that are not jewelry because I feel jewelry is something that always gets into my mind and I can be doing that forever, right? So you have to kind of balance, right?
And I think doing other stuff on the side also stimulates your mind, and that gives you more ideas. So when you meet people, when you go different places, that also stimulates your mind, and you come up with new ideas.
Yes, and
That
you
that's yeah.
you catch a break, right? Like you enjoy you have a coffee with friends, you have a drink, you enjoy music and then okay, we're going back and I'm removing myself from my comfort zone, which is being like so into this thing. You know what I mean?
Something related to the same is managing finances, because doesn't matter how much money you're making, a little or too much, you have to learn how to deal with it. You have to learn how to manage your finances, day-to-day finances, business finances, spending on yourself. What is there a formula? Or you save money, or you're a spender? How does it work with you?
Well, I feel like at the beginning, when I started my line, I think I was lucky and the economy was much better than it is right now.
Okay.
So I've been to all the phases, right?
Yeah.
Like of an entrepreneur, like, oh my God, this is so good. We are like selling and it's amazing. But then comes the pandemic,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then after the pandemic, oh, it's so good. People are home and they're shopping. And then comes a recession. So I learned with those patterns to be more careful, right? Like, because things are not always good. So right now, like 9 years in, I'm much more careful how we spend and how we strategize for launching collections, right? And it's a little bit of that of you have to manage, right? Everything that that goes into the business, and it's not an easy task because it doesn't matter the size of your business. It's always very hard to get the financials in and then getting out and managing and paying people, keeping yourself afloat, right? And but I just, I learn a lot with the successes and fail and success again and fail, and it's so much that you become humble and you become quiet, and you'll be like, I never know when it's going to be good or bad, so let's just
At
strategize at every time, right?
at this stage, are you doing it yourself, or you have an accountant?
I have an
You have an
account.
accountant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So he's taking care of the finances.
Yes.
Does he keep you in check?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
So you're
I'm not very good on bookkeeping, accounting, and I refuse for many years to be good at that. But until, we're just like, if you don't get the books right, this business cannot fly and cannot go anywhere, right? And I feel I had to at least hire someone and try to understand a little bit and be aware, because without the financials you're not going anywhere.
You have no picture of what's going on.
No.
Yeah.
And I always say this, like, because I'm an artist and I'm a designer, but I always say to people, like, sales are the blood of the business. If there is no sales, there is no business.
No. Yeah.
So you have to figure it out on a daily basis, how, like, come up with a good idea and, and create something that people like. And this is so challenging. People don't understand because you have to try and try and try and try. And if you only have this only, that's my only business and my passion, I don't know how to do anything else besides this. So you have to be on top of it, right?
How much time do you spend during a day in your workshop?
Well, it's my home
Okay,
office,
yeah.
right? So
Where you make where you craft it, where you make the jewelry.
yeah, so we do make things at my atelier at home,
Yeah.
and we also make outside. But if you're asking me how much time I spend into the work,
Yeah.
I don't have a timeline to end. Like, some days are days that I am doing a full day because we are based online, so, and we sell through all over the world. So that is, if I'm managing this, right, that is not a time that I'm like, oh, now I'm gonna shut off.
Okay.
Unless I have a commitment, right?
Generally speaking, I think your time in your while you're working with your hands on a certain piece or a certain collection, it depends on, of course, like how the orders could be, or if you're making a collection, so until it's finished, so you're going to spend most of your time in your workshop. But generally speaking, as an artist, as a designer yourself, how much, because you work with your own hands, you are still working, you're still making jewelry at this stage in your career. I want to understand, like, how much of your time goes into crafting it by yourself. Most of your day, or if you're working on a project, then 8-9 hours, or how does it work?
It's like when I come up with the idea, it doesn't take long, right? I was like, usually, like, I create something and I develop the idea with my assistant. And then, I was like, let's do this. And then we look at possibilities. It can take, like, maybe like 8 hours or even a few days to come up with the idea I
With
had.
the concept.
Yeah, to the final product. It can take a while. And that is things that I was like, I want to make this, but we have so many things to make that I didn't have time to sit down and like, look, I'm going to focus on this idea right now. So it can take, like a few days, like a whole day or a few hours. Sometimes is the idea is just so easy and people like it. That's it. And sometimes I always joke with other friends that are in this field, like the ideas that you don't put so much effort are the best ones. And then there is ideas that I'm passionate about and we go about it here and there, in and out, and people don't like it. And then you don't really know what works.
What works. But for the ideas and the creations that your clients or your customers don't like, do you still like them?
I do.
You do, huh?
I do. Yeah, I don't really take it personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if people don't like there is so many things to like and to dislike.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you don't like this idea, is okay. That is another beautiful idea as well, right?
Do you keep that piece with yourself, or it still goes on website and you never know, somebody buys it, but
we keep, and then sometimes someone like it, right? And that is ideas too that we're just like, that was a good idea, but it did not move, so we're not making anymore. But it's part of the process.
Because I asked that question with the idea that because creation is not easy. There's a lot that goes behind it, and when you understand and you go through the whole process of creation, you develop a love for the product that comes out. It's just like a baby, So you don't wanna part with it. But as you said, sales is an integral part of your business. If you don't sell, you can't keep creating and just collecting. So you have to sell.
Yeah.
So there was a time in my career that I was also creating. I was making stuff. There were things that didn't come up to even my expectations.
Yeah, we always have like this idea.
Exactly.
It's going to be beautiful, and then when it comes into real life, like, oh my God, it's
not.
A nightmare.
But I tell you something, that those pieces that didn't come up to my expectations, to sell it to somebody, I was thinking that they were not sellable because there was something wrong with it, or something didn't come up to the way I thought about it. They're still at my house. I still keep them. When I go and I see them, because I'm not in that business right now. So, but when I see them, it brings back those memory, and I still feel good about it, that I used to do that, and my mind, it was my creation, and
Yes.
I still look at them with passion, and it's so satisfying when you see that. Although it was a piece that I myself didn't want to sell because there was something wrong with it, but it's still I still like it.
Yeah, it's like we were talking about your house, your renovation.
Yeah.
I think like products that like a piece that you create, and sometimes it doesn't look good or it's not quite right. They still part of you, right? And what you envision.
Yes.
So you're not gonna get rid of it.
Yeah.
Because this is even like it's a mistake that lead to something that is good.
Yes,
so leave it there.
That is very
leave
true.
Leave it there because it's a reminder for you that like you have to try things.
Yes.
And sometimes they don't come up the way you want.
Yes.
But then that led you to whatever
worked. Whatever was beautiful. Yeah.
So
one thing leads to another. I totally agree. And that's exactly the process.
Yeah.
That is exactly the process. What's coming up? What's next? So where are you where are you right now? And what's the vision to where you're gonna get in the next 5 years or 10 years? How do you see it?
So now we've been doing this year something that I thought that I would not do, which is like we are growing the whole sales business side of the business, which I was like, I didn't want to do that because I it's very challenging, right? It takes a lot to grow a business, and then imagine like, okay, now we're growing the wholesale side of the business is a whole other story.
Okay.
But we're doing that right now, and which has been great. I've been meeting so many people, so many stores, so many creative people that also created a beautiful shop as well to sell beautiful creations of other people. So we are into this now since the beginning of the year, and I'm liking very much. And then in terms of collections, we are launching fall very soon. So that's something that is coming up, and I think it's going to be very nice.
Right.
I cannot disclose
No,
fully,
no, you don't have to.
but
No.
yeah, so it's something that I'm very excited about that is coming up, right? And but yeah, so growing slowly because, like I said, I never want this to be something that it's so overwhelming because I feel I'm an artist, and I'm very chill and slow, and I want to have fun in life. And yes, doing business is great, but I feel like
You know, when you say chill, what comes to mind? Brazil.
yes, like I'm, I want to travel and I want to enjoy life with family,
Yeah.
friends, and, having something that is very big, kind of like, oh, am I going to be able to enjoy my life too?
But I tell you something, in my experience, when brands grow, they kind of lose the vision of the designer because then it becomes for profit, and it becomes like a money-making machine. Then other people get involved, and then you have to listen to their input because they say that, hey, look at this, if you want to keep selling and if you want to grow your sales into that's what I was thinking when you were saying that you're exploring the wholesale market, because I hope you can manage the individuality that you have, still keep intact in your own brand when you go bigger, when you go to other stores, and they start having their input in your design, and that's a challenge. You want to grow, but you want to keep it
Yes.
more genuine and authentic to your ideas.
Yes.
That's where brands, a lot of brands, they evolve into corporations, and the concepts and the passion and love of the original designer is kind of like there, but it's not there because now you got to make more money, huh?
Yes. I don't know because, like I said, this is something new
Yeah,
to me
yeah,
that I
yeah.
decided to explore because
Yeah.
lots of people, we talk about it all the time, my friends in the industry, and I decided to explore. And I feel like I love working with people, and I don't like we go slow because like there is no one behind
That's
me.
the way to do it. Yes,
Like there is no one behind supporting this idea, or like, yeah, go and get 1 million stores. I'm going to support to make all these products. I don't have that support, so I'm very like slow about it, right? Like we have, this shop, and they like this. Good, like they like, let's say, the pearls. So we make things for them that has more pearls. The idea itself, that is another beautiful shop that likes certain designs. So we try to mix all over, like the city in Toronto, different designs in each store. So I'm taking as a creative challenge, right?
Yeah.
How can I make a Cyntia Miglio product and vision that is still true to us, to the brand core, but also I can serve that store. It's a challenge, right?
yeah.
And I can learn from that too. It's like it's going to change maybe my design because I do have to make something that supports a shop idea, but also have to have my DNA. So let's see what happens.
It's going to be good. I think I think your
hope.
passion and your love for making crafting jewelry, I think it's going to keep it more authentic,
Yeah.
and it's going to be great.
Yeah, that's why I said like slow. It's the way to do this because you want to learn and you want to work with people, right?
And I like your idea about going slow. This is not everybody wants to like be fast and make quick money and sell this and sell that and become a millionaire. I'm so happy to meet you, and you are one person that don't want to go fast, don't want to make like millions of dollars. Who would not want to? But it shows your true love and passion for what you're doing, because that's what you do. That's what you enjoy doing. I think that's more important, because
Yes.
running after money is like it's not fun.
Yeah, like I don't know. I feel like we everybody needs money and
Of
likes
course,
money. It's a
yeah,
good thing for the business.
yeah,
I am
of
not
course.
saying that I don't want that, but I feel like I came to terms as an artist, right? Like I had phases with this business that I was like, can I continue this? Because like we've been doing this for many years, but it's not working. At some point, in this business, I was like, this is not working out. What should I do? But I will go like I really love doing that. So I have to make this work no matter what, because I love what I do, and it has to work, and like I said, you wake up the next day and you continue, even if there is not much going on, even if there is nobody being on the back of your mind. Yes, you're amazing, go, like you continue
Yeah.
no matter what, because you love it, right? So then you make it work. Like, look at me. I didn't even like bookkeeping and accountant, and I had to learn to do that because of my passion, right? Because I know if I don't get things right, my passion is on the line. And for me, if I don't do that, that will be costly for me emotionally,
Of course, of course. Okay, Cynthia, this, you know what, I hope you can continue this and continue expressing yourself with the beautiful designs that you make. And, one day money will follow,
Yes.
as you're growing yourself, you were one person, now you have a team, and I see more and more products coming out. I see your social media is growing, and you're putting more time into it, and hopefully one day you will achieve what you want to achieve.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And that is another thing that I just want to say that maybe I forgot to say when you asked me the question about, when we are like, how do you protect like people that are working with you? That is something that I always thought about, like having a company. It's keeping circular, right? Let's say here in Toronto, we make the products here,
Yeah.
majority, and some products in Brazil. We keep that circular, right? Within our economy,
Okay.
within the artisans here, right? So I love that idea.
Meaning you go directly to them? Is that what you're saying?
Everything is made in Toronto, right?
Okay.
So
Oh, okay.
like the diamond setter, it is in Toronto, right? Everything it's made here, so
Locally,
it keeps
Local artisans working. Yeah.
local artisans working. And I love working with artisans. Like I love finding new artisans. There is artisans that they will work with stones, another artisans that will work with diamonds, some with pearls, but they're all local, and that's what makes my business strong. These people that like they're here to help me with my creative projects, right? And I'm happy that in Toronto we can find so many amazing people and artisans that are passionate enough to be with you.
That's amazing.
You know?
That's amazing. And it's so good when it's so satisfying when you see one person has put in so much time that they set a stone in a ring or in a necklace that it looks so perfect.
Yes.
And not many people can do it. And the only reason that they can do it is that they put that effort and time into it. And that makes them so perfect that you go
Yes.
and find them, and seeing them working is so satisfying. You know?
Yeah, and if you think about it, like I only design and create things, right? But without all these people that set the stone, that does this, my ideas are nothing. You know, like whatever I want to make, I'm the creator. But if I don't have the support of each artisans, who am I?
They're not gonna. Your ideas will not come to life.
Yeah, who am I? So it's a collective effort
Of course, yeah,
of like creativity,
of course,
right?
yeah.
So yeah, I feel like that is a big support, and it's not all about the design, it's about how we make the design, right? So, and who are the people that are dedicating to do that,
Very cool.
right? So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I feel the design itself, yeah, can happen. Everybody can create something, but how you gonna execute the idea and who are executing, it tells all about the story of each design.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you for doing that. Thank
You're
you for
welcome.
keeping the art alive. It's not easy right now because there's a rush for money and rush to make money, a rush to make quick money. You are going slow, and you have the composure, and you have the courage to do that. It takes courage to play a long game. It doesn't matter if.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, and thank you for doing this. As I said at the top of the podcast, we've been planning it for some time. I know it's difficult for you to come this far and have time, take time out from your day.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.